Hey guys, Anime West Reacts here. It's gonna be a reaction slash review, whatever you want to call it, to Owari no Seraph, chapter 99. Pretty big chapter. The cover page of the chapter is Shinoa, since I feel this kind of focuses on her. Shinoa clutching her scythe, and pretty nice looking colored cover. But yeah, this chapter is titled Mortal Love. And so we start off the chapter where Shinoa is being held, or she's bound pretty much by the chains, and she's like, phew, huff, odd, for some reason my heart is starting to race. Apparently my feelings for Yuichiro are running high right now. And she says, oh well, because I'm a girl, I guess that happens to girls, my sister said so. And we have her saying, apparently all human girls are supposed to yearn for love. Did you know that, she? And she's looking down on him, and she says, oh hey she, did she know that I'm in love with someone? And he's not saying anything, he's just looking at her. She's like, oh dear, you look terribly uncomfortable there, she. Shake it off, she. You can do it. Try to use my love and desire against me and possess me again. And she's like, oh, I can't do it. But why don't I let a little more of my love out then? I'll just loosen up these chains wrapped around my heart. And she's like, I really love Yuichiro. And she just breaks out of him. She's like, I love him a lot. And then she breaks out of the chains and falls down to where she is and says, oh wow, I've never seen you look this bad. You can tell there's a mocking kind of tone, I feel. So she's like, what's this? Could this possibly be something that you didn't anticipate? Because he's breathing really heavy, and he's tired looking. And she says, or is that not the case? Is it not? Which? And Shinoa says, you really are very powerful, so I have to wonder if this is my opportunity or not. And she says, if this really is all part of your plan, whatever shall I do? I could accidentally get in my genius sister's way. I'd rather not do that. But if things have changed, the risk might be worth taking. And she's like, oh, I know. I'll keep my heart half closed, or halfway closed, while trying to reach out and possess you. I'll just let my love go berserk. And so she pulls out the scythe, and you see that she makes a bunch of scythes and attacks her, but she blocks all of them, and then she is just thinking, again, stronger than anticipated. She knows, laughing, saying, you really have become weak. And then she's she says, or Shikima Doji says, you were not this powerful before. Did you hide your strength? Shino's like, oh, I never hid anything. I've always been like this. I'm the unnecessary spare who was always less gifted than my sister. If my strength really is greater than you anticipated, then are you sure the issue isn't that you simply underestimated all of humanity? And she pretty much stabs him with the scythe, it looks like. And she says, I'm going to suppress you, confine you, and bind you. And then she's like, says, Ashera, the humans are coming, capture Michaela's soul before they arrive. And then she says, Ashera. And then Shikima Doji's shocked, because apparently Shinoa can hear his thoughts. So he thought that, and then she heard it. And so she says, do you perhaps mean Ashiramaru? Is he one of your allies? Oh dear, that's very bad. I'll have to let Yuichiro know right away. And then she says, or Shikima Doji says, I won't allow it. Tries to attack her. And yeah, she's too close to dodge. Forget possessing him. Have to prioritize getting the message to Yuichiro. So she like jumps back or something, or she like can't tell if she like I think she jumps but still gets stabbed. And then she says, "Take advantage of the site's momentum and carry me backwards." So yeah, she jumped to get hit with it and then have it throw her back. And he's like, "Damn it!" She's sticking her tongue out at him and says, "Have to wake up. Wake up and tell them." And Shikima-doji yells, "Sleep!" Tries to stop her. And she like falls over and she says, "I won't sleep. I won't. I can wake up." He's yelling, "Sleep. Sleep deeply. Sleep now." And she's yelling, "I won't. I refuse. I'll never sleep ever because I'm in love with you, Ichiro." And she's like, "I'll let this desire run wild." And you see like a horn. She says, "I'll let this desire run wild and overtake you, not just you, the entire curse that has ruined my life." And then she's like, "Yuichiro, I'm coming to see you now." And then we go back to outside. Gurren is telling, "Ah, damn it, we don't have any time. All of you hurry up and move." He's like, "Huh, what?" And Mika's turning into a curse gear. And yeah, he's like, "Wait, I get it. You're doing this to save him, right, Gurren?" And then Gurren's like, "That's right," basically. He's like, "Exactly, this will save Mika and Shinoa." And he's like, "Whoa, awesome. Guys, did you hear that?" And then Himizuki comes over and pushes him and is like, "You moron, how stupid do you have to get to just let him convince you that easily?" He's like, "The lieutenant killed Mika, remember?" And he is arguing, but he says we're gonna turn him into a curse gear to save him. And then, yeah, Himizuki yells, "How does that count as saving him? That's just turning him into a tool that we use." And then Gurren says no, and then Himizuki says, "I don't believe you." And then he like pulls the sword and says, "At all." And then Gurren blocks it. Himizuki says, "You killed my sister, you bastard. I haven't forgiven you for that. If you insist you're going to save everyone, are you going to resurrect her too?" And then Yu says, "Ah," and then Mitsuba says Kimizuki, and then you got Yoichi blank face pointing a bow at him, says, "Lieutenant Colonel, you said you had my sister's body stored away too." And then Yoichi says, "What's that all about? You have my sister's body. How did you even know about it? How much of all of this has been a part of your plan? Was my sister's death part of it, or wasn't it?" And then he says, "If I say it was," and then Yoichi says, "I will kill you. Or then I kill you." And Krill's like, "Idiots, what does any of that matter? If the first awakens, everything's over." Gurren, and she's like, "Gurren, I'll silence these fools by force if necessary." But then, yeah. Mahiru puts her finger out and says, "Don't worry, this will all work out." And then she's like, "Mahiru Hiragi, will you silence them?" And then Mahiru's like, "Me? No. My sister will, my truly gifted, incredible sister," because Shinoa wakes up. And then she like screams, and then he's like, "Shinoa." Yoichi says, "Shinoa." Everyone's like, "Shinoa, are you okay?" She smiles. And she's like, "I'm most definitely." Because, yeah. So yeah, she says, "Please listen. Now I'm barely keeping him, Shikima-doji, at bay. I won't be able to do it long." And then Yuichi says, "Are you going to be okay?" And she's like, touching his hand as it's on her shoulder. And yeah, Mitsuba seems to like notice it. And then she says, "Once I tell you what I've learned, I have to return inside myself to confront him again." So yeah, she says, Himizuki says, "Tell us what? That you're really the Lieutenant Colonel's ally, and this is all according to plan." And so Himizuki yells, "Are you going to say we're all just guinea pigs and you've been laughing at us the whole time?" Shinoa says, "No, all of us, myself, Gurren, every one of us, is Shikima Doji's guinea pig. Apparently, everything that has happened in the world has been precisely according to his plan. And she says, but today that changed. Now in the home stretch, his plan has finally hit a snag. I suspect that Lieutenant Colonel and my sister have been secretly planning for just this moment without ever letting anyone know. And then she says, did I guess correctly? And then Gurren says, you did, Kimazuki. Yoichi, believe me, I'll save everyone, including your family. And then Kimazuki yells, I want to believe you. Trust me, I do, but there's no proof. And then Gurren yells, the catastrophe was my fault. So basically just tells him everything, pretty much. Says, he caused the catastrophe. That means that all the hate and despair you had to live with, that's all my fault too, because I chose to resurrect Shinya and the others. I did it even though they didn't want me to. He's like, it was my weakness, my selfish desire to bring them all back that invited all this disaster in the first place. And Mahiru grabs his hand and says, it wasn't your fault. Shikima Doji arranged for it to happen. Even if you hadn't done it, the world still would have. But he says, that was my chance to die. And he says, Shinya and I were supposed to die together. We could just die without becoming demons, without getting obsessed with our powers. That was how we were going to beat them, how we were going to win. But when it came down to it, I just... And Mahir just kind of looks at him, has like a saddish look, I guess. And Yoichi lowers his bow, just saying Lieutenant Colonel, and then he says, but I'm still weak. I effectively killed your families and utterly ruined the entire world, but it's all I can do not to dance to Shikima Doji's tune. And then he says all their names and says, will you help me? And he says, I'm going to resurrect all of humanity. And they're like, what? Yeah. Then Chinoa just says, what really is, Big Sis, is this what you two have been doing? And then she says, well, I did happen to fall in love with the big dummy. And he was like, whoa, awesome. Well, Gurren, that's awesome, let's do it, we should totally do it. Shinoa says, but if we do, it seems we'll have to deal with an unexpected problem. And Mahir says, what is it? And then Shinoa says, it seems unfortunately that Ashera Maru is an enemy. I heard Shikima Doji ordering him to capture Mika's soul. And then Kurula shocked, says what? And then Yu goes into his inner world, says Ashera Maru, and then sees all the coffins that they're using to attack Mika with, or they jumped into the world Mika's in with. And so Yu says, hello, Ashera Maru. These are coffins, they look a lot like the ones Kimazuki can create. And then we see that inside the world we got Ashera Maru chasing down Mika. And then he's saying, come on, let's do this. And that's the end of the chapter. So overall, pretty great chapter. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I don't know what to call it. I'll call it a reaction maybe, but yeah. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment on the video, subscribe for more anime reaction reviews and manga reviews. Check out links down below to my Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. Share it, like it, all that stuff. And yeah, see y'all next time. So yeah.